The wind moved softly across the dry plains of the American West, carrying dust, silence, and memories that most people tried to forget. The sun was beginning to fall behind the hills when Ethan Carter rode slowly along the dirt road leading back to his ranch. It had been a long day. Herding cattle always left a man tired, but tonight there was something else in the air, something he could not yet explain. As Ethan approached the small town of Red Creek, he noticed a figure sitting alone near the old wooden fence beside the road. At first he thought it might be a traveler resting, but as he got closer, he realized it was a woman. She sat very still, her hands folded tightly together, staring down at the ground like the world had nothing left for her. Her clothes were dusty and worn, and strands of dark hair fell across her face as the wind passed. Ethan slowed his horse. "Evenin', ma'am," he said gently. The woman didn't look up at first. Then slowly, she raised her eyes. They were tired, the kind of tired that comes from years of fighting battles no one else sees. "You shouldn't stop," she said quietly. "I'm not someone worth talking to." Ethan studied her for a moment. Cowboys learned to read people the same way they read the weather. And the storm in this woman's eyes was the kind that didn't come from the sky. "Well," he said calmly, stepping down from his horse, "I reckon I'll decide that for myself." She looked at him, surprised. "No," she said firmly. "You don't understand. I'm broken." The word seemed heavy, like it had been sitting inside her chest for years. Ethan leaned against the fence, not too close, not too far. "Broken things ain't always useless," he replied. "Sometimes they're just waiting for someone patient enough to fix them." The woman gave a small, bitter laugh. "You can't fix me, cowboy." He smiled slightly. "Didn't say I could." For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The quiet field stretched endlessly around them. Finally she sighed. "My name's Lily." "Ethan," he said. She nodded slowly, then looked back toward the empty road. "I used to believe in love," she said after a while. "Back when I was younger. Back when I thought people meant what they said." Ethan didn't interrupt. "My father died when I was 16, she continued softly. "My mother remarried a man who saw me as nothing but trouble. I left home when I was 18, thinking the world would be kinder." Her eyes darkened. "It wasn't." She told him about the man she had once trusted. A charming ranch worker who promised her a life together. Promised marriage. Promised safety. Instead, he left her alone, broke, and carrying shame that wasn't hers. "After that," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, "I stopped believing in people." Ethan listened quietly. "I've worked in towns, farms, kitchens, anywhere someone would let me stay," Lily said. "But every place ends the same way. People hear stories, whispers, lies." Her hands trembled slightly. "They look at me like I'm something dirty." The wind grew stronger. "I'm too broken to love," she said finally. The words hung in the air like a confession. Ethan stared out across the fields for a long moment. Then he spoke. "You know," he said calmly, "a few years ago I had a horse named Ranger." Lily blinked, confused. "He was the fastest horse on the ranch," Ethan continued. "Strong too. But one winter he slipped on ice and broke his leg bad." "What does that have to do with anything?" she asked. "Most folks told me to put him down," Ethan said. "Said a broken horse ain't worth the trouble." Lily watched him carefully. "But I didn't," he said. "Took months to heal. Had to keep him steady, feed him by hand, make sure he didn't give up." "And?" she asked quietly. Ethan smiled. "He runs again. Now." The wind moved between them. "You're comparing me to a horse?" Lily asked with a faint smile. "No," Ethan replied softly. "I'm saying broken don't mean finished." She looked away. "You don't know what I've done," she whispered. "I don't need to," Ethan said. Her eyes lifted slowly. "Everyone deserves a chance to start again." Lily studied his face as if searching for the lie that must surely be there. But she found none. "Why would you care?" she asked. Ethan shrugged. "Maybe because someone once did the same for me." Lily frowned slightly. "What happened to you?" Ethan's expression grew distant. "My wife died 5 years ago," he said quietly. The words came simple, but the pain behind them was clear. "She got sick. Fever took her quick. 1 week she was laughing. Next week I was burying her." Lily's eyes softened. "I'm sorry." Ethan nodded once. For a long time, I thought life was done with me too, he said. Didn't talk to nobody. Didn't care about nothing. He looked at the sunset slowly fading over the plains. But life keeps moving whether you're ready or not. Silence returned again. Finally Ethan turned back to her. You got somewhere to stay tonight? Lily hesitated. No. Well, he said casually, my ranch ain't fancy, but there's an empty room and warm food. Her eyes widened. You can't be serious. I am. You don't even know me. Ethan gave a small smile. I know enough. She shook her head. I can't accept charity. It ain't charity, he said. What is it then? Ethan paused before answering. Hope. The word caught her off guard. For years Lily had walked through life expecting doors to close. But this man, this quiet cowboy, was holding one open. What if I ruin everything? She asked softly. Ethan chuckled. Trust me, this ranch survived cattle storms, drought, and my cooking. It'll survive you. For the first time, Lily laughed. A small, fragile laugh, but real. The sky had turned deep orange now. Ethan climbed back onto his horse and held out a hand. Well, Miss Lily, he said. You coming? Are you planning to sleep with the coyotes tonight? She stared at his hand for a long moment. Every instinct told her not to trust. But something inside her, something small and forgotten, whispered maybe. Slowly, carefully, she took his hand. He pulled her up behind him. As the horse began walking toward the ranch, Lily looked out across the open land. The air smelled like dry grass and possibility. Ethan, she said quietly. Yeah, what if one day you realize I'm not worth saving? The cowboy thought for a moment. Then he answered with the words that would stay with her forever. Lily, he said gently, people ain't projects to be saved. She waited, their hearts waiting to be understood. Tears quietly filled her eyes as the horse carried them across the plains. For the first time in many years, Lily didn't feel broken. She felt human again.